Welcome to the Freedom CEO podcast. It's about becoming the chief decision maker over your life in order to step into a life of freedom. From business, health, wealth, charity, and giving back to just doing life on your own terms. I am your host, Shay Invidiata. I am an award-winning activist, change maker, and a multifaceted impact entrepreneur with over a decade of experience in business, philanthropy, and health and wellness. In this space, I'm going to be bringing you insights, not just from me, but from incredible thought leaders around the globe to help you start making decisions towards living a life of freedom so you can live a life you love. Are you ready, guys? Because we are going all in. Hey friends, Shay Invidiata here, your host of the Freedom CEO podcast. It's just you and me in today's episode. Listen, we have less than 100 days left in 2023. Have you thought about how you will show up to make these last 3 months count? How are you going to finish off this year? Are you where you plan to be right now? Did you even have a plan at all? We're going to talk all about this in today's episode and then some. We're always one decision away from a completely different life. And my friend, I invite you to take that first step. The first decision in becoming the CEO of your life. This October, the Freedom CEO Society is launching, and I want you to be there. Be sure to click the show notes to grab the details and the special offer just for you. Now, let's get into it. Hello, and welcome to a great, fantastic workshop where we're going to talk about turning your passion into profit so you can build the life you promised yourself. If we've not met before, my name is Shay Invidiata. I'm an impact entrepreneur, philanthropist, and a freedom wealth mentor, where I help you become the CEO of your life so you can create more freedom in your finances and your lifestyle. My intention today is to spend some time with you to provide you with some value and gold nuggets to apply in your life or your business. And I'm going to share a bit of my journey along the way to help guide you so that you can walk away from here with a whole new perspective on how you're living. So my friend, if you probably know about the traditional paradigm, there's an old school way of thinking around we go to school, we get in debt, we get a job, we get married, have a family, climb the corporate ladder or any ladder for that matter in work where you are not the employer. And we work towards something, retirement, a pension. And then it's in those older ages where we start giving back and we start doing what we actually love to do. So essentially, the system basically has the structure so that we wait until the end of our life to have fun and to make a difference. And I grew up in a home where giving back was just part of the normal culture. And I developed at a young age this desire to really give back and do what I could with what I had. Even as a child, I went down to inner city Chicago when I was in grade 7 or 8 years old to help children who were less fortunate than I was. I went down to Venezuela in high school, leading missions trips, working in orphanages. And even when I was 17 years old, I actually led one down there by myself and brought some people. By the time I had left for university, I really believed that we were blessed to be a blessing to others. And I felt that that also came with great responsibility. Kind of like that quote, to whom much is given, much is expected. I knew that it wasn't by accident that I was born in Canada. And I say that to you as well. I don't think it's by accident that you are born in Canada, or maybe you immigrated here, but you are here now. In Canada or the United States, two of the most free, most abundant nations in the world. If you are living in either of them, I think that it's not by chance. It's not coincidence. So for university, I moved off to Hawaii, and it was during my time there that I was actually confronted with this issue of human trafficking. It's a much larger story, which unfortunately we don't have time to go into today, but you're welcome to go to our website, freedom.ca. You can follow us on social media if you're more interested in that. But as I was seeing this issue of girls my age being trafficked and girls much younger than me, 13, 14, 15 years old, I had this desire that I didn't want to wait until I was a lot older to start making a difference and doing something about what I was seeing right now. And so I felt that we could make a difference now. We didn't need to wait till we were older. And so I started to challenge this need around, couldn't we make money with a purpose? And how would that change lives? How would that change my lives? And so I want you to think about that, making money with a purpose. As I mentioned, this would throw me into a whole life that I did not expect to have happen. But what I took out of this and what I realized is that every day we have the chance to change the world, every day. And that, as I mentioned, we are blessed to be a blessing. So I ask you, if you have a business, maybe you're thinking about starting a business, maybe you're working for someone else, maybe you're a stay-at-home mom, whatever it is that you are doing right now, how can you bring more impact, more purpose, and intentionality to the work you are doing? I began to weave a cause. I began to weave what I was passionate about into my business, which at the time I was starting to get my real estate license. That's what that's what I was doing, which is a very unique combination. But I was doing it at the same time. And so for you, like I said, you don't need to have a charity. You don't need to start a charity, but it's about bringing this intention, this purpose into the work you're doing. So maybe some of you right now are saying to me like, well, Shay, what would that even look like? I don't even know. So I threw up some purpose statements on here so that you could see them and start understanding what I'm saying. And when you start to shift from being income driven, meaning you're just there for the money, you're looking at the dollars, to impact driven, I promise you, you will see your business grow. So let's break out some of these purpose statements first. I help first-time home buyers become financially literate and become investors. Maybe another one is I help you create new streams of income so you have more choice, independence, and freedom in your life. Or I help women become financially free through asset ownership. These are just a few examples where you can see you're not just doing a 9-to-5 job. You're not just a realtor, or you're not just in the financial sector. But now you have clarity, you have direction on what it is you actually are doing. And each of us, whether we realize it or not, you in general are not here by accident. You have a purpose for being in this world. And every day the world needs more leaders, more entrepreneurs who are going to be shaping our future economy. And that's a huge responsibility if you actually really take a moment to think about that. We become the leaders of tomorrow. So think about where your focus is, because whatever you focus on grows and energy flows. So right now, if you're just waking up and you're doing the mundane, you're in the routine, you go to work, you come home, and you don't really have a purpose and you don't have clarity around it. You're just doing what you're doing because it's what you've always done. Life is going to continue to be that way for you. And so what I want to help you do is shift that. I want to help you really bring in clarity around the work you're doing. And maybe for some of you, you don't enjoy doing that. The question is, why are you doing that? Which I'm going to come back to that thought. So stay with me. This is one of my favorite quotes. Okay. Success versus significance. So I want to take this even one step further, where when you realize everything we are doing in the world, we are in service. When you start to actually understand that, you become the difference in your industry and amongst your competitors, no matter what it is. So what is the difference between success and significance? As you can see on the screen, success is when I add value to myself, but significance is when I add value to others. And so when you focus on adding value to other people, it's inevitable you will end up gaining the success for yourself. And so again, there's nothing wrong with wanting to be successful. Like, we all want to be successful. We all need money. There's nothing wrong with that. And that's a whole other conversation, which I'm going to share with you at the end about the Freedom Society, the Freedom CEO Society. And I've got a whole section that's just on money mastery, becoming an investor, understanding financial literacy. These are super important things, but we're going to come back to that another day. For right now, thinking about if you can go bigger than just you and actually bringing success into somebody else's life. That's how I understand it. It's success is when I add value to myself. Significance is when I add value to other people. When I'm focused on making them successful, I in turn gain success, but then you create your own significance in somebody else's life. Before you can do that, though, we need to do a check-in. Why do you do what you do? Seriously, when did you think about this for the last, when was the last time you thought about this? Because I find so many people are in this routine. Some of them don't know why they're doing what they're doing. Many people are actually doing and living a life for somebody else. And so I ask you that. Are you living the life that you had dreamt of for yourself? Or do you even have a vision for your life? We need to also ask that question, because if you don't have a vision for your life, you don't know where you're going. And if you don't know where you're going, you walk around aimlessly and you don't know what to focus on. And so it's like, no wonder why you feel stuck. No wonder why you feel overwhelmed. No wonder why you don't know what your next step should be, because you don't have a vision for where you're going. And my dear friend, this is how you end up living a life you didn't choose. Have you ever woken up or looked around at your life one day and said, how did I get here? How did I gain the extra weight? How am I still in this job? How am I still in this marriage? How am I still, I don't know, you fill in the blank, what that looks like for you. But this is how you get there. If you don't have a vision for where you're going, you end up living a life you didn't choose, or maybe that you didn't want, versus living life intentionally, by design, and with purpose. And I want you to think about how you're spending your time. How do you view your time? Because how you answer this is going to be the gateway for creating that vision for your life. If you're on Instagram, I actually have posted this video before. We're in the workshop, so I've actually queued it up here for you. But I'm going to play a quick video. Hopefully it'll work. And let me do that first, actually, right now. Nope, it is not working. Okay. Basically, and this is why I have it written up on here for you. So we are still A-okay. You work 8 hours to live 4. You work 6 days a week to enjoy 1. You work 8 hours to eat in 15 minutes. You work 8 hours to sleep 5. You work all year to take a week or 2 vacation. You work all your life to retire in old age and then contemplate your last breaths. We've become so accustomed to material and social slavery that we can no longer see the invisible chains. See, we've been conditioned to believe that this is normal. And yet, then when you ask people about doing something for themselves, like exercising, you hear people saying, I have no time. I wish I had the time. And then on the opposite end, they have no issues scrolling on Instagram and they just think time time goes so fast when you're scrolling on Instagram, and how you could be, instead of spending and wasting these 30 minutes of time, precious time, you could actually be investing it in yourself. Right now, there's a crazy statistic that Canadians spend on average over 2 hours a day on social media. And I don't mean if you are using social media for business, I mean aimlessly scrolling. Inside the Freedom CEO Society, I spend an entire section on this as well, doing a full time audit with you where you can bring efficiency into your life and understand the value of your time. What is your time worth? What is the difference between spending time, investing your time? What is the ROI that you're getting, meaning the return on your investment? It's really important to start seeing where you are allocating your time. It's a non-renewable resource. We can always make more money. We cannot buy more time. And this is the most expensive currency we have. And so this is where we need to start in analyzing how we're using it, what we need to change, and then also looking at ourselves around how are we investing into ourselves. Whether you are in business or not, whether you're an entrepreneur, you're working for somebody, investing in yourself, you are your number one most valuable client. You need to show up for yourself as you would your client or your partner. Imagine if you had a client or your husband, your wife, your partner asked for an hour of your time in the day, and your response was, I don't have time for that, or it's not a priority for me today. You would have a very super crappy relationship with your partner and would most likely lose that person as a client. And imagine if your partner or client kept asking for your time and this was constantly your response. Not today, I'll do it tomorrow, I'll connect with you later, I'll show up maybe in a few days, next week, I just don't have the time. You are saying that that is not a priority, that person, that client. And you need to treat yourself as you would your clients or your partner. You need to schedule in time for yourself where there is no excuses. You're not trading it off. You're structuring your day so you're not compromising on the things that are of value to you, number one, but also two, are vital for you laying down strong foundations for success in your own life. It always starts with you first. Think about being on an airplane. When they talk about the oxygen masks coming down, what do they tell you to do? They say, put on your mask first before you help anybody else. You need to be pouring into yourself first before you can pour into other people. When you give yourself the best, you're able to show up and give your best to other people in service. And so for me, I choose to do this at the beginning of my day. Say the morning and the evenings, I call them my bookends of my day, because I can't control, many of times we can't control what happens in the middle of our day, but I can control how I start my day and I can control how I end my day. So for me, my mornings are non-negotiable. That is when I'm the most fresh. That is when I am able to get everything in that Shay needs to elevate my mind, my body, my soul, so that I can show up and be the best version of myself for the day. And so I ask you to think about, what is your morning routine? Do you have a morning routine? What is in it? Things like gratitude practice, meditation. What are you eating? Are you eating? Hydration. What does that look like for you? Do you have it all over the place? Is it loose? Do you just kind of sometimes do it, sometimes not? If it happens, great. But think about the structure and shifting your brain as to actually scheduling each of these things into your calendar as if it was time with your client or time with your partner. My favorite word is no. The power of the word no. Because whatever you're saying yes to means you are saying no to something else. And again, this is the importance of understanding and being clear on what it is you want, which comes back to the vision you're holding for yourself. Because if you don't have a vision, if you are not clear, then it's really easy. You find yourself just saying yes to anything and everything because why not? But when you're clear on what you want, what you're building for yourself, if it's not in alignment with you, if it does not actually support your vision moving forward, then why are you saying yes to it? Because whatever you're saying yes to, you are saying no to something else in your life. And so this is where it should be a fuck yes, a resounding yes, that it is in full alignment. If you are giving your time, again, a non-renewable resource, to something where you're not going to be able to get your time back. And so for me personally, actually, in my early 30s, this was a component that was missing for me. I had real estate success. I had the properties. We had built up Freedom, my nonprofit, to incredible authority in Canada, changing legislation. We had gotten the awards. I was super passionate about what we were doing, but I really was not living in the environment that I loved waking up in. For me, that has to do with being on the ocean and also in the warm. And for some people, that might sound a little crazy, maybe even a little dreamlike, in the sense of, well, we all can't live on the ocean. I mean, not everybody wants to live on the ocean, but for me, the ocean carries a vibration, it carries a frequency, it carries healing properties that my body, when I am not around water, when I'm not in the heat, I feel depleted. And that really attacks my energy and brings down my vibration. And I did not want to work all year only to go visit the place I want to live in for 2-3 weeks out of the year. I was like, this is backwards. I need to be doing this a different way. And I believed that I could. I remember saying to my dad in my early 30s that I'm going to blink and be 40 and look back and feel that I've lived for everyone else in real estate, my team, my Freedom team. And that's not a bad thing, but I need to live for myself. And I wanted to be living a life I didn't need to take a vacation from. And so when COVID happened, I was 35 years old at the time, and I was watching the world scramble like many of us were. People losing themselves, so much division happening. And Canada was becoming a country for me that didn't fully resonate anymore. And so I had a decision. I often say in every circumstance in life, you can choose to become bitter or better. And in every hard situation, it's an opportunity to learn, to grow, and to change. And so I decided this was my opportunity, that this time I was going to choose myself. I was going to take ownership over my decisions, and I was going to step into being the CEO of my life. Many of us, including myself, have looked at somebody else's life before and said, man, I wish I was living that life. I wish I was doing what they are doing. And here's the secret. You actually can. You just haven't made the decisions to support the desire and the outcome that you want. And nothing in life comes easy. So even right now, as I'm saying this, I know that some of you are thinking, here's 10 different reasons why I couldn't just move. I can't live where I want to. I can't quit the job that I'm in. I can't leave the relationship I'm in. Whatever the reason is, you can fill in that blank. We all have excuses, and we'll continue to either make those excuses or we will start to make it happen. And here it comes down to what you know you are worthy of and deserving of. You are worthy and you are deserving of having everything in life you want. And now it's time that you start to believe that this dream is actually available for you. There's this crazy quote that really hits me whenever I read it, saying, the definition of hell is your last day on earth, the person you became meets the person you could have become. Say this again to yourself. Your last day on earth, the person you became meets the person you could have become. That's crazy. And you risk your life playing it safe, feeling unfulfilled, unhappy, wondering what if, thinking I've got a pretty good life, I have a pretty comfortable life. No, it's not exactly what I want to be doing, but it's okay. And I want you to sit with that quote because it really hits me sometimes when I think about taking a step back or just staying where I am and not evolving and not growing to where I know my soul's next evolution is meant to be going. And another secret I'm going to let you in on. You are responsible for the life you are living. The life you're living right now is an accumulation of many decisions you have made. And so when we take ownership over our decisions, that's when we actually start to step into our freedom. When you change your decisions, you will change your life. And so for me, I decided I'm moving back to the ocean. Costa Rica was the destination. I can have it all. And I just need to decide what it is I really wanted and go after it. So I started to dream big, and I'm encouraging you to dream big, then dream even bigger. Write it out, declare it, and start taking big action towards it. God, the life force, the universe will step in to support you. And each of us right now have this constant thought, this constant nudging to do something. Every single one of us, whether it is to leave that job or relationship. Maybe it is to start a business. Maybe it is to scale your business. Maybe you're supposed to create that podcast or write that book. And the only difference between a dream and a goal is taking that action. And if you don't hear anything else from what I've said today in this time that we have together, this is what I want you to leave with. Stop playing small. Choose yourself. Choose yourself and bet on yourself, and stop living for others' expectations of you or building somebody else's dream. Give yourself permission to pursue that thought and that dream that just will not let up. You are stronger than you think. And here's the most incredible part is the world is waiting for you to show up and to stop dimming your light. Nobody in history has your story, has your fingerprint, is you. You are uniquely you. There will never be another one on this earth ever who is you. And when you really allow that to sink in, your power starts to come out because you start to realize just how incredible you are. And so I want to ask you, in thinking about turning your passion into profit, starting to live that life that you keep promising yourself, what idea won't let up? What makes you dance? What can you bring into your life that will have more impact? How can you start bringing impact and purpose to other people? And what is your vision in life? I'm going to pause here for a moment as I'm saying this to you. What is your vision in life? If you are stuck on this, you might not even know what a vision is. You might not know what a mission is. What are the differences between the two? In the first foundations inside the Freedom CEO Society, I go through all of this, how to write a vision statement, a mission statement, how to get clear on what it is you actually want. Because this is so important. It's one of the key foundation principles you need to have in your life. It's fundamental. What do you need to start saying no to more so that you can say yes to the things that are in alignment, to the things that you actually want to be doing that bring you closer to your vision, bring you closer to fulfilling your goal? Now it is the time to turn your passion into profit. The world, my friend, is waiting for you. I'm waiting for you, and I cannot wait to see what you are capable of achieving. So I have an invitation for you. October 10th, we are kicking off the Freedom CEO Society, where you are going to reclaim your freedom so you can start building your queendom. And I am going to help you become the CEO of your life to create more freedom in your finances and your lifestyle. And I really look forward to connecting further with you, with women who are ready, who know they're made for more and want to live the life they are meant to lead. Women who want to 10x their life, step into purpose, live life on their terms, and create so much freedom. And the most beautiful part is that this is the community. We are going to have so much incredible connection, accountability. This is where it all comes together, where you are not doing this on your own. And I am really excited to see you on the inside. So I hope you take the time to check it out. Go to thefreedomceo.com. I've also got some other freebies in here for you. So make sure you click on those. And hopefully there's some good tools for you. But I look forward to welcoming you on October 10th as we kick it off in the Freedom CEO Society. I'll see you then. Thanks for tuning into the Freedom CEO podcast. If you got value out of today's show, I would love for you to leave a review, as it will help my show reach other people as well. You know what to do. Download this episode, click the like and subscribe button. If you feel like spreading more love, hop over to Instagram and share today's show in your stories. Remember to tag Shane Vidiata and the Freedom CEO. My DMs are always open, so drop me a line. I'd love to connect. Until next time, keep owning your decisions to live a life of freedom. Live a life you love.